Hello, everyone. Hi, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you guys are listening from. I hope everyone is doing well. Um, Sorry, just give me a second. I thought I was trying to. Don't worry. Let me not get distracted. Don't worry, it's fine. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing well. Hey, everyone. I hope you're doing well. How are you guys feeling? What are you drinking tonight? Put it in the chat. Let's know what you are drinking tonight. For me, I'm having a Tommy is saying, "Hi, y'all. What are you drinking today?" Yes, girl. It's like, what are you drinking? So for me, I'm having a new drink that I've never tried before. So if I hate it, you guys will know. It's called a green apple and Sprite from McDonald's with some ice. Did I told them not to put ice, but this is a lot of ice. I guess either they forgot or I forgot to tell them not to put a lot of ice in it. Ooh, guys, it's good. Mm-mm-mm. It is very, very good. If you guys have never had it before, I highly recommend. It is so good. Mm-mm-mm. Funny enough, it wasn't intentional at all. I was just craving like a burger, and I thought, let me just get a quick burger from McDonald's. And the Sprite, green apple Sprite drink, mm, absolute chef's kiss. But anyway, how is everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Today we have quite a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about the Braxtons because so much has happened with the Braxtons. So we are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some Love and Marriage Huntsville tea. We're also going to talk about Karen, Hugo, um, and a lot more, to be honest. So much definitely happened. So we will be talking about quite a lot of different stuff. Did you guys watch the latest episode of the Braxtons? If you guys have watched it, let me know in the chat because that it had me in shambles. I didn't even know where to go with it. So I don't even know if we should talk about that first. But yeah, put it in the chat if you guys have watched the latest episode of the Braxtons. Because I feel like that that show is every episode. I think that every episode, I just think how far they have moved away from what we saw on the Braxtons previously. Braxton's family values, right? It feels like now they are completely so different. I do not know what has gone wrong with the family, what is going on with them. I feel like a lot of the things are deep rooted and has been there for some time, but I think we're just now getting to see it. But nonetheless, we will talk about them. We maybe let's start with the Love and Marriage Huntsville tea, because I know you lot like some Love and Marriage Huntsville tea. So Tommy is having some raspberry flavored tea and it tastes so good. Okay, come through with the flavor. I guess today is all about the flavors, honey. Okay, so you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a picture of Marsau that came out recently where he looks very chimey with a beautiful young lady. And so that picture has sort of been going all around and just been out in these streets and all. So what it seems like is so wait one sorry. So what it seems like is people are now saying like Tisha has been missing from certain events since then. And I wanted us to like talk about it. So I will share something to you. I will share something with you guys in a second. Let's just catch up on the chat. I haven't seen it, but I'd love to know what's going on with them. There's a lot of mess on Instagram. Don't worry, I will play some clips. You will see it. But there, I feel like that is probably the biggest thing I really want to talk about today because yeah, a lot is definitely happening with the Braxtons. on the socials. I even think like we need to even review our titles also to make sure that we're putting something about the Braxtons, because the people may want to see the Braxtons because a lot is going on with these people, child. Hey Bashan, good evening. How are you? How is everything going? It's always nice to see you in the chats. Thanks for joining tonight. Child, not the Love and Marriage for Cheaters Association up again. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. So let me see if I can get the picture up of this gorge, beautiful lady. I'm not sure I can get it up in the thing because I hadn't planned to show it before. But for those of you who may not know, there's a picture that has been going around of Marsau with a woman. Now, from what we can see, it is quite dark, but it does look like Marsau. But let me just put that banner up just in case. It's all alleged, okay? So, but it definitely is looking like Marsau. You can't miss that face. There's a part of the picture, there's one side of the picture where you can really see his face. So that is definitely showing. Yeah. And you can see that he has a slight smile on his face. And then she is also smiling. And then there's another point where it looks like his his hand is on her shoulder a little bit. And it's almost like both looking straight into or looking straight at each other, right? So let's just say it ain't looking good, right? And so I feel like when this when this came up, a lot of people were like, "Ooh, what's happening?" Maso has been exposed, and maybe that is, who knows, right? But what we do know is Miss Wanda, if I'm not mistaken, came out and tried to say like she doesn't believe there's anything going on, blah blah blah. As usual, we're not surprised. That's what a mother-in-law would do. At least most mother-in-laws will definitely be caping for their son-in-laws. I would assume that that is pretty standard. Um, but I guess where things seem to be a little bit interesting now is, let me show y'all this. Give me a second. So if I show you all this, so here is the Halloween event that the people did over at Black. Let me show y'all. All right. So you see all these people at Black. You can see Ken and Trish. I don't know who this lady is. Well, guess who we can't see? That definitely ain't Tisha. Okay, so if you look through all of these pictures, one person seems to not be in any of the pictures. I don't see Tisha in sight. Not one picture of Tisha, which is very, very weird because I would have expected at least one picture of Tisha. So I don't see Tisha in there. I don't see other people. Of course, I don't see Miss Nell in there, which I can't say I'm surprised because Nell and Tisha have a very rocky history. So I'm not surprised that we don't see Nell in any of the pictures. Nonetheless, it's still a little bit like, okay, what's going on over there at Huntsville? What is going on? Like, we need the tea. What is going on? Is 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 there issues in paradise? Is there trouble in paradise between Marsau and Tisha? These are the questions I want to know, because it's like, what is happening over there in Huntsville? Has something happened? Is this like, should we be concerned? Or is this like way for them to get a lot of people talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of, especially things with like Marsau as well, I think they know how to play into the social media hype. Ooh, y'all, this drink is so good. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so they know how to. Sorry, they forgot to give me a straw, and I do not have a straw, so I have to sip it. So when I tell y'all that, I feel like these Love and Marriage Huntsville people, especially Marceau, I feel like they know how to play on, and they know what the social media streets are interested in. And I know Marceau is not stupid, and Marceau probably feels like people already think he's cheating. Maybe he should play into it. Maybe that's going to bring the people to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville because they want the viewership to go up. So I wonder if that is what it is about. And it's just a way for, yes, if Tisha is missing, that will cause some like ruckus, that will cause people like us talking about it. And maybe that is all it is about. So I don't know what you lot think, but I think it's definitely moving a little bit like something is fishy. Is there really trouble in paradise? Is this lady and Marceau, do they have something going on? I would hope that Marceau is not going to all of a sudden F up after years of sort of allegedly stepping out without any proof. Marceau is one of the people that have been accused of cheating so many times, but there has never been a proof. So for me, I would be quite surprised if truly he fell into their hands and now he's been publicly exposed and this is actually true. So I don't know. But you lot tell me, let me know if you guys feel like it's all a lie, or if you guys feel like there's actually trouble in paradise between Tisha and Maso. Let us know in the chat. Tommy says, how come Destiny is not there? Destiny has been missing from everything, honey. Destiny, I don't know if Destiny is working a full-time job somewhere, but Destiny is not, by the way, not that there's anything wrong with working a full-time job, just FYI, but Destiny has been so hard to reach lately. If you watch the earlier episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville or this season, you notice that she wasn't in a lot of scenes, and quite she was missing even cast or group events, right? Which then makes me feel like she has other commitments. And the only other commitment I can think of that can possibly take somebody away from a check is a better check, in my opinion, or some sort of family emergency. But I don't think any family emergency will continue to take you away from work if it's not something where you can literally just be like, oh, guys, I'm taking a break. This happened with my family, and take a step back. But it feels like she's constantly being found wanting, not showing up to certain things. Something is definitely going on. Rasputia Jr. ain't allowed out. Stay at home like a good wife. Oh, okay. Her perfect marriage after mocking Mel is falling apart. It absolutely is. I think it's very obvious that I don't think the marriage has ever been perfect. I think she has just gotten away with pretending that it was. And the only person she was lying to was herself, because nobody ever outside looking in was thinking, oh, I want to tailor my marriage right, right after Tisha and Marceau's marriage. Remember when she wanted to do what was it, a vow renewal? And Marceau was not here for it. Marceau did not want a vow renewal. Marceau was adamant that he did not want to do it. I don't get the impression that that is someone that loves you and wants to be with you. Because there is no way, if a man wants to be with you, he would not be jumping at the thought of a vow renewal, or at least be happy at the thought of a vow renewal. But the fact that that man did not look like he did not look impressed in the slightest, he did not want the vow renewal, should tell you everything that you need to know. So I don't know. Maybe she's embarrassed. Maybe she feels like the picture has gone out now. You know, she can't continue to pretend and lie and act like she had never experienced such in her life and she does not know what the people are talking about. I guess the truth is, there's only so long that you can lie for and pretend before the truth will eventually come out. And I do wonder whether now is the time for the truth to come out and now everyone is finally seeing allegedly what is going on. Tommy says, I think Tisha and Marsau might be going through it at home. Yeah, I feel like there is a huge chance that that is really what is going on because I think Tisha does not mind him doing whatever he's doing. This is just my personal belief. I don't feel like Tisha minds him doing whatever he's doing as long as he does not bring it to a place that is public. She does not want to have to publicly deal with the embarrassment of whatever it is that he's doing. And so I personally feel like if he was doing it quietly, she would not care. She would not mind. She is not bothered about it. But the moment there is some proof, like a picture, something that she can't deny, it's like there's only so much you can say, right? You can say, oh, yes, this is not this, and this is not how that, like, he had never done this. But if we see a picture, then we can see, wow, we don't believe you, right? I feel like most of us don't really believe her anyway. But at the same time, I feel like it's worse when we can see a picture. It's worse when we can have something that we can go back to and be like, okay, yes. And I think that's where Tisha, if truly there's something going on with that girl and Marsau, I think that is where Tisha is. Tisha is probably soaking it all in and thinking, how am I going to deny this? How am I going to act like this ain't the truth? How can I salvage this? Because people already think we're lying anyway. And now we have to pretend and form for the camera like everything is all good. So I think it will be very interesting to see whether we see this play out on the new season. Passion says, didn't he go to Africa for some him time? He sure did. And there has been a bunch of rumors about what the heck he was doing in Africa anyway. So we do not know what he was doing in Africa. All we know was he did not take his wife. That is the one thing I can say that we know that he didn't do. He did not take his wife. He was like, well, I'm not taking her. I am going to Africa to do whatever I want to do. Who knows what he was doing in Africa? He could have been a great husband in quotation marks, or he could have been out in these streets in Africa. I don't even know where in Africa he was meant to have gone to because I hate like referring to just saying Africa, 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 because I'm like, where in Africa? Where was he and what was he doing? That's what I would want to know. I saw on here she served Carlos Queen with papers. Ooh, who served Carlos Queen with papers? Please tell me who the tea run us over. Mm-mm-mm. Who served Carlos with papers? I want to know. Let me know because I'm not sure who served who with papers. Mm-mm-mm. So Tommy is saying, guys, let's work together to promote the live. We only have 12 likes. Hit the like button and the share button, please. Thank you so much. And yes, please hit that like button. We have more people in the chat than the amount of likes that we do have. So please smash that like button. Also share the video so that other people can know that we are live. All right. Tommy says, well, a lie cannot be concealed for so long. Truth eventually comes out. I completely agree. I feel like, I feel like the truth will eventually come out. Um, if indeed he's out here doing whatever, eventually it's going to come out. The truth of the matter is you can't lie forever. If you try to lie forever, something is going to get exposed eventually. Like, think about it. For years, we did not know whether there was any truth to Marsau doing all this nonsense shenanigans. Then we saw a picture of his back. And so once we saw a picture of his back, we knew there was some truth to something. Because I don't know what grown man is taking a picture of another grown man's back. So somebody must have taken it. And from that angle, it did not look like a tripod. So who took the picture of the back? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I say that because it's like, think about the magnitude of that. That is evidence to me. That is evidence of something, because I don't know any grown man that will take a picture of a random man's back unless they're doing something. So I feel like that was the first time we caught Marsau slipping, in my opinion, allegedly. And now I don't know who took that picture, but they definitely looked cozy. Sorry guys, I'm wearing a jumper because it is a little cold with the ice drink. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I was the one that made the mistake of making them put the ice in the drink, or them putting the ice in, even though I asked to remove the ice. I'm gonna double check later. But it is giving me a throat thing. You know when your throat is starting to be a bit painful and sore. Will that stop me from drinking the drink? No. But will I be looking for a hot drink afterwards to try to save me and save my throat? Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyways, I'm seeing you guys want to post links in the chat. Yeah, Bajan, go for it. Let's see if you can post it in the chat. Maybe it's something that I can click on. But just make sure it's not something that will get me in trouble. But Destiny served Carlos with papers. What kind of papers? Whoa. Oh my god, this is about to be good, guys. We are getting the news. Bajan is going to be our source today because apparently Destiny served Carlos some papers, allegedly. Oh, the plot thickens. Okay, so whilst Bajan gets that, guys, please hit that like button, and please hit that like button. Let us know what you're drinking in the chat. Excuse me. And yeah, just please hit that like button. Please share the live as well. We're gonna give Bajan some time to come up, not come up, to put the link in the chat, or you can come up, girl, if you want to, if that's easier. But yeah, whilst she's doing that, let's move on. Let me just double check. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about on the Love and Marriage Huntsville front? Yeah, I think Bajan said that's why I asked. I didn't want to get you in trouble. Bajan, do you want to come up and give us like the scoop of it if you can't share the link? Um Also, do you know what? If you can share it through reviews and recaps DM on Instagram. So it's reviews and recaps, I think. Not me forgetting the Instagram. But yeah, I believe it's reviews and recaps. Give me a second. Or if you put it in the chat, then I can sort of have a look without sharing my screen first, and then I can see quickly if it's something I can share. And also let me put the link in the chat if in case you want to come up and give us like a little scoop of what the document is saying. Because that is very interesting. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Like, what would her excuse be? What exactly is she trying to serve papers on, honey? Like, mm-mm-mm. I wouldn't even know where to go with it. It's like Destiny of all people. Like, I can see Melody doing that, but Destiny, like, for what? For what? Okay, Bajan will be back. Bajan will be back. But in the meantime, let's move on to other things, and then when she is back, we can come back to that story. But guys, please hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. I do not want to beg for likes today, honey. So please hit that like button. And guys, when I promise you, when we talk about the Braxton, it will be good. There is a lot that I really want to talk about when it comes to the Braxtons. I'm very disappointed. And I feel like a lot of the people and the comments I've been seeing on social media seems to be giving certain people a pass, which I don't think is right. I think there is a lot of blame that can go round and round that table. And so I think everybody will be held accountable tonight. So make sure you watch until the end because we will be covering the Braxtons. Okay, so let's move on to Andy Cohen. Okay, so you all know Andy loves him some Wendy. Loves, loves him some Wendy. And I think people need to realize that Andy is familiar with Andy's aware of people suing and all that kind of stuff. Andy's also aware of what the people on the social media are always saying about workplace and all these different things. So I don't think Andy is going to fall into the trap of being out here speaking too much. I think he probably has good a good team, a publicist who would be out here saying, "Yo, don't say that." Right? I personally feel, I really believe that Andy has a team that are out here being like, okay, this is how you need to answer these questions. So I don't think we should be shocked when we listen to the way Andy is navigating questions that are being asked about Wendy. So let me share this.
From Potomac faked her home invasion.
So, sorry, I got ice in my mouth. They really went ham with the ice. Okay. So this person asked, Andy, do you think Wendy faked her home invasion? And it's like, yo, how do you ask someone's boss if they think that their employee faked a home invasion? It's like, what do you expect the man to say? Of course, he's going to have to give a politically correct answer. And all these like asking people's bosses and asking him, like, people have asked Wendy he as I've asked Andy in different ways what he thought. So I'm like, having another sit down where you're asking Andy is like, what do you expect him to say? Anyways, let's listen to what he has to say. Okay, so I think the link has been sent. Tommy, could you please check the link that's been sent in the DM?
You know what? I love Wendy from Potomac, and I am really very strongly hoping that this doesn't pan out to be anything. I think
Right. So yeah, I think I'm not surprised that Andy's like, he's hoping for positive vibes. Of course, he knows He probably has the same sentiments that we do about what we think it is, but of course he's not going to be out here saying all of that. He has to also protect himself. The last thing he wants to do is be getting sued or somebody now saying, oh, workplace harassment or something like that. He just has to keep it cute.
She's been a great role model, and she's really led with her education and her family values. And so, I don't know anything about the case, but except that I was caught totally off guard by that.
Dude. Do you think Wendy from Potomac faked her home invasion?
You know what? I love Wendy from Potomac, and I am really very strongly hoping that this doesn't pan out to be anything. I think she's been a great role model, and she's really led with her education and her family values. And so, I don't know anything about the case, but except that I was caught totally off guard by that.
Dude. Do you think Wendy from Potomac?
Yeah, I feel like that's the best that we can get from Andy, to be honest. I don't think that Andy is really going to necessarily like be out here breaking it down and being like, oh, I don't really believe that for a second, to be completely honest. So of course, I feel like Andy kept it as cute as you would expect your boss to keep it if you said something, to be honest. I feel like, yeah, that's where I stand with it. Bajan says Dusty's probably broke. What happened to her new office that was in the last season of the season before? Or I do not know what is going on with that. Bajan says just following you on Insta and sent you the link in your DM. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have a look at it offline, but I'm not familiar with that source at all. I need to kind of review and see if they seem credible. Because with some of these, I don't know if it's an AI thing, but some of these random YouTube channels just post anything. So I'm like, I will go and have a look like later on, and then if I feel like it's credible, then yeah, we can come back and talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, thanks girl for sending it over to me. Okay, so that is all about the Andy of it all. I personally don't think, like, what else do you expect the man to say? That's just where I stand with it. It was also, guess who was spotted? Let me show you all this. It's Karen, but it also doesn't necessarily, it looks a little bit like Karen, but then it also looks to me like Ashley, like an older Ashley. But I think it's the wig. I think that wig ain't good. Karen needs to get rid of the wig. And I understand, if you're not on TV, you probably don't feel like you need the glam squad, but I'm gonna need you to bring the glam squad back, honey, because that wig ain't it. That wig does not look good. Like, we need to do something about that wig. So yeah, I personally don't think I don't think I don't think yeah, I personally don't think that wig is a look, but she was spotted out, apparently, or allegedly. She was spotted out at a bar. Now, this person does put that little looking emoji thing, but what is not very clear is like, honey, she is eating. So you saying at a bar, was she drinking? Was she not? Like, it kind of insinuates something, especially with that looking emoji. And I'm just like, the lady was eating. Just leave the lady alone. Oh my God, Tommy is not serious. Tommy said she looks wasted, allegedly. Oh my God. I don't know if she looks wasted. I think the hair just makes it worse, right? Like, because Karen kind of, if you look at her eyes, I don't think her eyes, ooh, Now I'm thinking, should I go find that DUI video and compare it? I don't know. I wouldn't have thought she was, I just think she's eaten. She's eaten, but I feel like this person definitely shading her with the bar and the looking emoji thing. Because I'm like, when you saw her at the bar, was everything good? Was everything good? Yeah, so that's what that yeah, it's a little odd to me. But that wig gotta go, Karen. That wig needs to go. Please and thank you. Also, guys, 1 second. My laptop looks like it's running out of battery. I need to plug the charger in. But give me a sec. Because I did not set up myself today in a way where I was expecting. I actually thought that I was all charged up. That's what happens. That's what happens when you eat McDonald's before you go on live. I think McDonald's had me a bit sluggish today, honestly. But let me get the charger. 1 second. Okay. Oh, sorry. Saying my laptop will sleep. The last thing I want is for it to sleep on live. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Oh, yes. I got it before the laptop could shut off. But yes, I've plugged the charger in now. Thanks, guys. Okay. Back to Karen. I don't know. I don't know, Tommy. I don't know if I necessarily think she looks wasted. I just think like the thing sometimes is like when your hair doesn't look good, it can make you look all types of ways, right? If remember, we're used to seeing Karen with glam. Maybe she ended up having to do her makeup herself, right? So I wonder if that's what that is. Maybe she had to do her makeup herself. Um, and then the fact that the hair isn't good as well, like I feel like both just make her look worse. And then the fact that someone then said she's at a bar, it just automatically makes you think, oh, such a bad combination. You start to wonder what is really happening. Is she up to no good? But I genuinely don't feel like Karen will be stupid enough to be seen publicly again out here drinking or getting drunk. So yeah, I don't really think that's what that is. Bajan says, I saw a clip of Andy on his show and he had Tia from Real Housewives of Potomac. Tia gave a gracious reply, but Caramel went in and Andy didn't say anything negative. He kept it neutral. Yes, I saw that too. So I saw that yesterday. I think we talked about it last night, where I was just like, there was no need for Caramel to go in like that, but he went in and talking about stunts queens and stuff. I was like, okay, girl, like, okay, it's not that deep. Can we not? There's no need. Yeah, I just felt like you're allowed to feel like, yeah, she got what she deserved or whatever, but I think the way he navigated it, and even when Tia was talking about the children, he just seemed like he wanted his moment to shade her. And I'm just like, okay, like, I don't know, maybe stuff happened behind the scenes between them. I don't know what it is, but nah. I hope that yeah, I don't know what it is, but I hope that he fixes that attitude. I've never watched his show, I don't think, so I don't really know what he's about. Maybe that's his vibe and he didn't mean anything by it, but yeah, I just feel like that was excessive. There was no need for all that vim, all that shadiness. Um Especially when like, and I think the fact that Tia was so graceful, it just showed that deep contrast between Tia and then him. But yeah, Tommy says the hair does not do justice. I agree, sis. That hair, she needs to use that hair to mop the floor. That hair is not good. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know if it's like the parts in front. Maybe it's not laid down right. Like the texture, the wig looks like it's been bleached one too many times. Maybe it needs some deep conditioning. Yeah, it just ain't right. Oh no, she's looking like the bag lady. Um, I love Karen. She did wrong and has done her time. Yeah, I like Karen too. I actually feel like I can't wait for her to get back and be reading the girls. Um, it'd be nice for her to come back and gather Ashley, because I don't think people have gathered Ashley enough for my liking. Um, but I will say that other than that, like, yeah, I think other than the fact that I don't really like the wig, I think Karen is all right by me. Okay, so let me just make sure. Let me see, which other bit do I want to talk about before I move on? I want to kind of talk about it in a little bit of a sensible order. Since I'm on the Potomac of it all, let's see if there's any more Potomac news before I move on. Okay, let's do Tia first. Then when we do Tia, then we can do let's do all the Tia news. Then we can do yeah, so that we can finish the Potomac news and then we can move on to something else. All right. So let me just look at the chat before I move on to something else. I wish Karen was on this season of Potomac because it's a good season. Yes, I agree. And I wonder if, although you know how, yes, I think Karen is amazing and stuff, but I also always feel like the interaction between all the girls, would the girls have been all showing up for work if Karen was there, or would they just be dancing to Karen's tune? Because I wonder if the reason we're seeing so much from the girls is because Karen is not there. And so naturally, the girls are getting more time to shine. So, as much as yes, I wish Karen was on the season, I also wonder about whether the other girls would be shining, whether the other girls would be able to like get more screen time if Karen was on the show. I remember when Karen was sick and she stepped out on a wig. Kenya was sick and she stepped out and her wig wasn't wigging. Yep. I feel like, okay. Sometimes I feel like these people choose a wig. I feel like sometimes these people choose a wig. They choose a wig that makes them look the part. Especially when they say they're sick, but then they're not actually sick. They just don't want to show up to work. And so I feel like low-key they be doing that because I'm like, you can't tell me that yes, even if you're sick, of all the nice wigs that you had, this was the one that you could gather. Like, yeah, no, I'm not falling for it. But yeah, I am not falling for it. Anyway, let's move on to Tia. Now, you guys know I've been vocal about how I feel like Tia is doing what needs to be done. So, and I agree with it. I feel like Tia is definitely showing up. I think Tia is definitely my favorite newbie this season. I think she is holding her own. I think she's really doing her thing, I must say. I have no complaints about Tia so far. I love that she can take accountability, she can go back. Yeah. Jeffries, hey, good afternoon. Reviews and recaps and mods. Hello, Jeffries. How are you? I hope you're good. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you're good. Hope you've had a wonderful day. Tommy says, wow, that's true because there will be a lot of focus on a DUI charge. Exactly. But now all we're focusing on is a wig. So maybe it's a good tactic, right? No, but on a serious note, yes, I think there would have been so many conversations about her DUI within the group that everyone would have been focusing on her DUI. People would have been doing an intervention. And then I feel like naturally the rest of the group will not be working much on their storyline. They will probably not be interacting about their own business. It would be just about Karen. So I feel like even though, yes, it's not right, or I don't like the fact that Karen is not there, I also feel like if Karen was there, it still would be, I feel like the girls would just relax because Karen is there and just dance to whatever tune Karen is on, as opposed to now we get to see Jazzy. Now we get to see all these other people, you know so I feel like it's just a different vibe that way. Because now everyone gets to show up. We didn't know who Kay was. Now we get to see that Kay is petty And Kay seems to have always wanted to fight, right? We've gotten to see Angel. If Karen was there, we probably would not even see nothing, no interaction with Angel. We probably would not even be annoyed with Angel because we wouldn't even know who Angel is, right? Although, either way, I'm not even sure we know who Angel is. But my point is, we wouldn't really be seeing much of an interaction with Angel, right? And if I think about who else is on the show, yeah, Giselle and Karen are always good. But when we think about the rest of the girls, I just don't think we will see enough of them. I don't even think we would have gotten the opportunity to see Tia's family, right? The family are spicy. They clearly have a mouse on them. So, I don't think we'd have gotten to experience that, which is pretty much reality TV gold, if you ask me. Bajan says, oh my God, remember when she gathered Ashley when she told her to go procreate? Karen always knows how to gather the girls. And in particular, she can gather Ashley like properly. And it feels like this season, Ashley has not really been gathered, although Ashley was gathered by Tia. I think she probably thought like, oh, Tia is a newbie. Tia seems calm and cool and collected. And Tia was like, yeah, nah, I am calm, cool, and collected, but I will gather you in a heartbeat. So it was definitely fun to see that. I'm really excited to see how Tia will evolve. I think that Tia definitely, you can tell Tia is witty. Tia is funny. I love that, like, even when they come at her, she doesn't take it too much. She's just like, she laughs about it. Tia is a less vocal Stacy, in the sense that she lets things bounce off her as well. And Tia is a little bit more on the spicier side when she is pushed, rather than Stacy. But I like how I feel like they both seem very unbothered by like people trying to call them out, people trying to shade them. I think that is one of the very, very good signs of a good housewife, right? You need to be able to take the shade, you need to be able to throw the shade back, you need to be able to give the shade. If not, it's gonna be a mess. And I think that's what Tia does very, very well. Now, whilst I've given Tia all that prep, she better not disappoint me, because I done hyped her up. So she best not disappoint. But let me show you guys this. Let me share my screen for that. I don't know why I'd be having so many tabs. Like, just close the tabs after you use them, honey. But anyway. All right, let's go.
It was tough, and I have to be honest with you, even watching it back was tough. I mean, and if it's tough for me, it must be tougher for Angel. I actually wish I had spoken up more.
This is the first thing I like about Tia. Most housewives would never, ever admit that maybe they should have done something differently. But look at her here saying, do you know what? Maybe I should have taken off for Angel in that moment. Right?
I was new and I'm still getting to know Angel, and I don't necessarily off the back over insert myself, but I didn't like it. Right. I mean, when the conversation started, what you didn't see is Giselle had brought it up in the golf cart, and I knew where she was going.
And had you seen the photo?
I had seen the photo, and actually the photo on the show was different from the photo that she questioned. It was.
Did you guys hear that? The photo she was asking Angel about was different from the photo that production decided to put in the clip. You see how these people are playing with us? You see how these people are playing with us, production. Because why do you think that is? Because maybe was what kind of picture was it? Was it a full body picture? Is that why Angel thought that she was body shamed? That's a good question, because is production editing it to make Giselle look a certain way? That's the question I want to know. Like, can someone tell us what the picture is? Because my thing is, like, why would production decide to change the picture that we saw? from the picture that Giselle was referring to. There's no need for that. Which is why I feel like production is trying to play into the fact that we already don't really like Angel because of the way Angel is moving from left and right, right? She isn't really stable as a character. We don't know if we can trust her. And so I feel like that is really what I feel like it is. I feel like maybe it was a full picture, and maybe because when Angel was talking about the body shaming, I was thinking Angel must be really insecure about the about her body, you know, which of course it's understandable. You just had a baby, absolutely understandable. And I have so much empathy for her. I can't imagine like feeling like your body has changed and your body is no longer what you were used to, right? But at the same time, it was very confusing because the picture that we saw of Angel was not a full body picture. So yes, production was being so messy. They definitely were, because imagine they probably did not want to validate Angel's claim. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna edit it since we know you all don't like Angel anyway. We're gonna put a different picture that will make her look crazy. Which will probably explain why Angel which will probably explain. I'll show you guys why I'm laughing in a second. Bashan is cracking me up. Which will probably explain why Angel said she has a lot to say, which I think she was going to wait until the season ends before she starts airing how she feels. But I feel like that's a very, very interesting thing. The fact that like she's now saying like, oh, she has, you know, something to say. And I can only imagine that of course she has something to say if let's be clear, if the picture was shown was different from what we saw. So of course we are out here thinking Angel is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pops and just being too sensitive. When maybe she wasn't. Maybe production are just doing what production do. But this is why you have to know when you sign up to be on a TV show, they can edit you the way they want to. Once they realize you're coming across a certain way, they will edit everything else to push that narrative. It's the same way a lot of people were feeling like, oh, Portia is jealous of Shamia, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's what they do. They edit things to make sure it looks a certain way if they already feel like people have that narrative about you. And that's a storyline that will sell. So that is what they are going to do. Angel is going on Watch What Happens Live to say her point. Yes, I can't wait to see what she says. I hope that she stands in her truth because right now it's not looking good. And sis, I hope you watch because I know they've pre-recorded it. So I don't know if she's had the opportunity to watch herself back, which means her performance may not even be great. But I will hold out hope and hope that we get some interesting content from Angel and we get her to clear it up because it's not looking good. It's looking like she doesn't know what she wants to be on. Guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. I can see a few new people have just come in. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Good evening. Please hit that like button. We're currently talking about some Real Housewives of Potomac, but we will also be talking about the Braxtons very, very soon. So make sure you stay until the end and hit that like button and share the video. All right. I feel like with Angel, we don't know what we're going to get. Yes, we might get the gangster version of Angel, the one in the confessionals, the confessional gangster. Maybe that's who we're going to see on Watch What Happens Live. Or we're going to get the version that Kiana sees. Or are we going to get the version that is the fun girl with the rest of the girlies? It's like, these are the things I want to know, Angel. So I hope that Angel, whatever you want to do, bring it together and show up and Watch What Happens Live and own it. And own how it must be weird for us looking outside looking in, please. But anyways, we'll have to wait and see what comes up. Tia seems so sweet, really mature of her to admit this. Completely agree. I love people that can admit when they're wrong admits maybe I should have done something differently. There's nothing I find more beautiful than someone who can take accountability. And so, even though I felt like it wasn't necessarily anything for Tia to save Angel, but if that's how she feels, then that's how you feel. I can't do anything about it. All right, so this is what cracks me up. Bajin says, wonder what face she'll be wearing tonight. And when I tell you, that had me cackling under my breath because I'm just like, I do not know, but she is a beautiful girl. So I just hope that she shows up as stunning as she is without doing too much. So that, because I think the people likes the Angel we saw with the girls. The Angel that said she wants to on a Giselle, right? So people like that version of Angel. But when she now woke up the next day and decided to go backwards after speaking to Kiana, that's why people aren't feeling Angel. And yeah, you're right. She comes across as a flip flopper. And this is why I feel like she's a people pleaser. I feel like a lot of people pleasers are flip flopper. They'll be upset behind your back. The moment they come in your face, they're no longer upset because they can't handle it. They can't face you. They can't confront it. Then they move on again. They're just flipping and flopping everywhere, depending on who they are in front of. So yeah. The clip from next episode, she seems to be going off. Maybe she will finally be true to herself. Girl, let's hope so. Because it's like 1 minute, it looks like, ooh, Angel, Angel, Angel. Then the next minute, it's like, girl, what are you doing? So I'm going to need her standing your truth. And I don't want to see any conversations with Kay before she goes off on anybody. Sis, go off if you want to go off. Say how you really feel. Go off. You know, this is housewives. People are used to people going off. So if that's how you genuinely feel, people would appreciate you better if you just decided to be who you are. It's the flip-flopping that people can't get behind because they don't know who you are. They can't trust you. They don't know how to place you. Production most probably wants someone to bust Grizzy in her mouth. I would not be surprised. I think also, like, Loki, I feel like they know that Giselle is required for the show. And so sometimes I feel like they do give Giselle, this is my opinion, I feel like sometimes they give Giselle favorable edits because they know who Giselle is. And they also know the people. There was a point where the people were not feeling Giselle at all. So I feel like they're trying to give her a decent edit so people are not like ready to cancel her. But this season, I can say like Giselle has actually been enjoyable. Giselle has been fun this season.
From the Jasmine brand, when it was leaked that we were the newbies, it was me and an Angel. And it was a picture that looked a little bit less tweaked than the one you saw on that episode.
Okay.
But I knew what Giselle was going to say because my cousin had said something similar.
Okay.
So I knew where she was going. So
Look, Tia is cracking me up. Tia said, I knew where Giselle was going to go because my cousin has said something similar. I'm like, girl, so the people are just out here talking about Angel. I feel like, Tommy, could you please help me look for the picture of Angel that is being referred to? Is a picture that was posted by the Jasmine brand, apparently. See if you can find it for me, please. If you can find it for me, please, it may be good for us to add to the conversation because I want to see the picture. What is the picture that has all the girls up in flames?
Giselle. So as she was going, I was like, oh no,
Right.
So it wasn't that like I felt it strongly and I was going to say something. I filter my pictures, you know. and-
We all do.
Yeah,
And
so-
also, like, a housewife calling out another housewife for filtering a. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
The housewives invented Facetune.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I'm
then
saying?
also it's not really dining conversation. So it did feel mean. It did feel like she was picked, and she's
And it was about her.
beautiful.
She is so
She's
stunning.
stunning. And she's a great photo taker. She doesn't even need filters.
Yeah.
She knows
Totally.
her angles, her
Right.
arches, all the things.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Most people who do filter don't need it, but I'm just like, you're an artist.
Yeah, and you have the right to.
Are you going to tell
filter.
Picasso not to paint?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I get it, but I feel like I do feel like yes, the filter there's such a thing as the filters are too much. And I don't know, the way I want to see the picture with Jasmine Brand. I think when I see the picture, I can really give my honest feedback as to whether or not it feels like it's body shaming. If I see the picture, then maybe I can get a little bit more context. But if it's a very similar picture to what we saw, then I'm just like, oh, I don't really get it. Like, yes, like Tia said, it's not a dinner type, conversation, but it isn't that bad. This is housewives, right? There's going to be shade. Like, it's not above or it's not below the belt like some of these things have gotten, like Brit Edie, the stretch marks around your mouth, all that kind of stuff. Like, that is low. So this is not that low. She is beautiful, but up K's butt too much. I completely agree. I think she needs to let it go. Let it go. Let that butt go. That butt is nice, but let it go. Let it go and be yourself. The people actually want to get to know you outside of K. The K is not even established herself as a housewife. She's not even a seasoned housewife yet. And so you being stuck up her butt doesn't make sense. Instead, you should have been cozying up to Giselle. You should have been cozying up to Ashley, maybe. I would say Giselle more, to be fair. Maybe Stacey. Even though Stacey's a newbie, Stacey's a fan favorite, so she's not going anywhere. So those are the people you should have been cozying up to. Instead, those are the people you're not interacting very well with, which is very, very concerning. So Tommy has sent the pictures. Let's see. Oh, can you send a link instead? A link would have been helpful. If you can send a link, that would be helpful. Only because I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I can share this quickly. So this is the picture, guys. Allegedly. This is the picture. So if this is the picture, yeah, so that looks like Tia. Tia's face is beat, but that looks like Tia. Angel. She looks beautiful in that picture, I'm not gonna lie. But does it look like the Angel that we see? You guys put it in the chat. So this seems to be the picture that Giselle was referring to. So I don't think body's not even showing. So I don't really know about body shaming. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Angel looks like this picture? Yes or no? Do you think Angel looks like this picture? I'm guessing. Yeah, Bajan does not like Giselle. Completely understandable. Giselle, yeah. But for me, this season, I'm like, she seems all right this season, not gonna lie. But yeah, I watched that recently and I was like, I'm going to go watch season 5 just because remember, Vajan, I didn't watch the whole I didn't watch all the previous seasons. This is either my first or second season of watching Potomac. So I don't really know all of the tea from back when. So even though I saw clips here and there. So I need to go back and watch this particular season, because this season has come up a lot. But yeah, guys, what do you think about Angel's face? Do you think this looks like Angel? Or do you think it doesn't look like Angel? Put it in the chat. Yes, it looks like Angel. No, it doesn't look like Angel. Yes, no. Because I think it looks like Tia. But when it comes to Angel, it's definitely, I don't know. It looks like her, but it doesn't look like her at the same time. I don't know how to explain that. Like, maybe with the sunglasses, maybe because of the sunglasses, it doesn't look like her. But maybe when she takes the sunglasses off, it probably still looks like her. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. Let's see what y'all are saying. To be honest, I think Angel has clearly changed a lot because of her child, but this photo pretty much looks like her in my opinion. It's edited clearly, but I mean most people edit. Okay. Yes. I feel like yeah, yeah. I think the frame of her face kind of looks the same, but I think with the glasses it's hard to be able to tell, right? I feel like angles, lighting, all of that. But yeah, it's definitely less filtered than the other one. Excuse me. I think the other one, it definitely did not look like her at all. Um, but a face is full here. A face looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so I don't know, to be honest. Not the stretch marks. Yeah, it was like the stretch marks around the mouth was just, I was like, oof, not the stretch marks around the mouth. And then people are talking about deleting, babies. And it's like, girl, too much. So that's what I mean when I'm like, yeah, that is when I feel like Housewives is getting to the gutter. But a little shade about somebody, not looking like their picture, I don't think is that deep. Dang, Afrobell says, dang, the girl gained weight. Y'all crazy. People's face can change with weight. Yes, I agree with you, to be honest. I agree with you. I think people's face can definitely change with weight. I've seen people lose weight and the way their faces look is so different. I actually feel like this picture looks more like her than the picture that Bravo used. I think oh I think this picture looks more like her than yeah. I'll say the picture looks more like her than the picture that Bravo used. I think the picture that Bravo used did not really look like her. But this one I think looks like her more. But I feel like when we don't see her eyes, it's so easy to not necessarily be able to see like, okay, girl, see that much difference or see whether or not see the level of the difference really, if at all. But she's a beautiful girl. Looks like that's her hair as well, if I'm not mistaken. So she looks good. Even on the show, I think she looks good. Someone says it doesn't look like her. Greasy forget her rolling heels of a neck for the other way around. Yeah, Bajan does not like Jeezy or Greasy, as you call it. Grizzle, as you call her. The one Bravo didn't look anything like her, though. Yes, I think the one Bravo used, and that's why they were trying to be shady. Of all the pictures they used, they made sure to use that picture so that it can make it more obvious. Because this one would have said, "Oh yeah, it's good old filter and good old editing," but Bravo or production, the people went and researched and found one picture that obviously clearly does not look like her and then posted it. So yeah. And the funny thing is, like, it's not even her that posted it, it's the Jasmine brand. So imagine she probably posted it on her page. I don't know how recent she posted it, but imagine she posted it ages ago and then Jasmine brand picked it. Like, I don't know. We don't know what happened, but anyway. Picture on the right doesn't look like Angel. That's not Angel Bajan. That is Tia. Are you trying to say Tia doesn't look like Tia too? Like, don't start, Bajan. This is Tia. This is Angel. And I know it's weird because they started with realtor Tia Glover, and then they put her on the right because you expect if they start with Tia, they'll put it here. But yeah. But yeah, that is Tia. Tia looks stunning. Tia, I need you to this makeup, this hair, please bring that back. Because that hair and that makeup you were doing the other day was not it. But this looks all right. All right, let's go back to what we were watching from Tia, honey.
But it wasn't great. And once you get to know Angel, she's very sensitive and she's a deep processor. And had I known that about her then, I think I would have had a louder voice.
So it sounds like Tia now knows Angel, and Tia knows that it takes Angel a while to process information because she says Angel is a deep processor. And I get it. Like sometimes people are like that where, you know, I can be like that sometimes where, you know, we may have been in an argument and I've said what I said and I said what I said and I have missed something that you said. And then I'm in the shower and I'm just showering and then I listen. And then once I start listening, I start playing back everything that happened. And then I'm like, wait, I didn't respond to that one. And then I'm angry all over again. So I don't know if that is what happened to Angel, but I think the fact that she sat down with Kay and it felt like she was starting it back up again is why it's just not resonating with us. Hey, Super. Hello, how are you? I hope you've had a wonderful day. Welcome to the chat. Bajan says, I thought both pictures was Angel. Not both pictures. Don't kill me. Too much fizzy Coca-Cola. Angel's picture looks good. Yes, I completely agree that Angel's picture looks good. And I think Angel looks good. Period. I actually think Angel is a beautiful woman. And I can't wait for her to, you know how like sometimes after you have a child, you go through like the motions and stuff, and after a while you get back into your own where you're feeling confident and you're now getting used to your new bodies and all of that. And so I feel like once she gets back into that era, I think Angel will definitely be in her, baddie era soon. Super says Angel has removed some pictures from IG. Some that I saw are on there are gone. Giselle was right. She was heavily editing. Wow. Honestly, I feel like sometimes people have too much time on their hands because sometimes people are like, oh, do this kind of edits. And I'm like, sometimes when my intern sends me an edited picture of myself to post on my socials, I'm like, no, that is too edited. Can you reduce that? Because I'm like, I don't really want to be out here looking like this ain't me. Like, can we like switch that up and like reduce that a little bit? Like, what is going on? I don't like things that feel like you're editing my face. I complain about editing of even like just making the background look so different, not even talking about my face. Yeah, nah. Because I just think I look better in person rather than like looking my best on the internet.
But at that time I was like, she has K. And,
Right.
I was so.
Well, do they?
Does she have K?
She definitely
She does.
has.
Okay.
Yeah, she does. They have a beautiful relationship,
Okay.
and I really hope that like this show doesn't get in between them
Yeah.
because I love them both dearly.
Yeah.
But had I been closer to Angel then, and even maybe just a little bit more courageous, I just wish I had said more. I mean, I was
Right.
kind of burying my head because I was like, is this really happening? Part of it is also getting used to this new environment because my group of friends, they would probably talk about you behind your back, but they wouldn't bring it to the dinner table.
That's the British way,
That's
right?
it.
And
I guess Tia is saying a group of friends are fake if they're talking about it behind everyone's back and then they come like ain't nothing happened. But yeah, he is right. That's the very British thing to do. I couldn't be on a reality show because once I'm done, I'm done. I can't be fake and then next season's all kumbaya the next. I couldn't give them the time of day. Yeah, I think that's one of the things like when you're on reality TV, you have to be ready to do. Like 1 minute, if you're upset, yes, you're upset, do your thing. And then right after, it's like, all right, girl, we gotta work. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why people are not liking Kiana this season, because people feel like, okay, We understand, okay, you want to be upset, you want to be in your feelings, but you've been in your feelings for 4 episodes now. We're tired. And I feel like if Kay is not careful, Kay will lose the people. I feel like Kay already lost the people, but she'll lose the people even more. Because people are just like, what are you doing, Kay? This is not the Kay we fell in love with. We love a Kay that is bubbly and fun and, exciting, not the one that is always having issues with somebody. So yeah, we don't like whoever this new Kay is. Back to sender. That's why I don't take pictures of people and send to them. I don't want my face tuned up. Oh my gosh, tell me about this. You know when like you take a group picture and then you see and someone tags you in the picture and you see that they've edited the heck out of y'all. There's nothing I hate more. And you know when they then tag you in it on maybe like story, and so you feel almost obliged to post it. Now, sometimes I don't be posting them things because I'm like, no, I am not posting this on my socials looking like that. Or when you take a group picture and then the person chooses the picture where you look a mess and then decides to tag you in it. I'm like, what is this? Of all the amazing pictures, you took this one. And then now you're tagging me and you probably and then you say something and you probably expect me to respond in a story. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not responding in a story. If I don't like the picture, I'm not reposting. Super says it's no different than going into the office and having to deal with the co-workers you have conflicts with. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think like it's definitely a work environment situation. I think because it's TV for us, we don't really see it as that, but for them it's work. It's like, this is my check. This is how I get paid. So if I have to chill with the people I don't like, if I have to hang with them, if I have to sing happy birthday to them, it's like, this is how I get paid. So yes, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I definitely think it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, sometimes you're hanging with people, you have conflicts. It is what it is. Let me. So I know there was also another video. Let me see the. Let me see the comments first, too. Oh, okay. So I don't see that.
Well, do you know what?
Oh, so I don't see no
They
comments.
don't show. There was a lot of going.
So Tia is now finally talking about the tongue-in-cheek bit. And I think like, because this is one of the things that made us like fall in love with Tia, because she curbed Ashley real quick. She's like, I'm not trying to go back and forth with you. And I was so here for it. Absolutely here for it. Bajan says, I just warn people, don't post no pictures of me. I'm with you on that. I feel like some people, I feel like they do that. And look, I feel like they do it intentionally. They do it intentionally. That's what they are on. That's their vibe. They'll just post pictures of you and then they post raggedy pictures. And it's like, of all the pictures that you could have chosen of me, this is the one that you want to choose. All right, so let me play this.
Back and forth. And I've got 4 kids, so I need to shut it down quick. I don't have the time for the back and forth. So after we had talked it through and I saw that she was going to keep going, I was like, babe, we're not going to do this. Like, it's your choice at this point, but like, we can go hard or we can go home.
I love that. It felt like she was not expecting a newbie to shut it down that way. And I feel like sometimes Ashley, and we love her, we're big fans of Ashley, it seems as though sometimes she is emboldened by her bestie Giselle, and she feels a little unbreakable and destructible and kind of feels like a bit bulletproof, but did
I get through the shield?
I think you did. I think you did.
I love how she's so lighthearted about it. She's like, oh, did I get through the shield? Like, I love that. And that's the thing. That's the kind of fun you need to be able to have, especially if you guys are cool after the fact. You don't want it to then seem like you're now starting or restarting beef. And so I think she's a very, very seasoned person. And I love the way she answers these questions. She's definitely doing press the right way. I will say that.
A little cuppa.
Where do you and Ashley stand today?
Oh, I love Ashley.
Yeah, she's the best.
She's
Yeah.
great fun. She really is. I think those were like the initial days we were meeting, and I think
Yeah.
it was like, you know, marking territory, seeing what one can get away with.
Right.
And I'm definitely not a confrontational person. Like, I don't try and start drama, but if you bring it to me, I will meet you where you are. And you know, they are the OG, so I think people are scared to kind of speak their mind. But I also know that if you don't kind of introduce yourself the right way the first time, then it could be hellish.
Well, and I do love, because when I caught up with Ashley, she did love you too. She's
Okay,
like, she's
great.
like,
Did you hear that? If you don't introduce yourself the right way, it can be hellish. And this is what I needed somebody to have told Angel. You need to stand your ground, especially the first time the girls are interacting with you. The first time they bring it to you, you need to shut it down. The problem is, Angel did not do that. The chin check comment came up. She did not check it properly. And so now, here is where we are, right? And so it's like then there were other instances that I wish she just stood up. And now she's going to be a joke for the rest of the season. And even if you picked up what Tia said Angel is very sensitive. So for someone that has that level of sensitivities, I don't necessarily think Real Housewives is the platform for you. I don't think so.
Tia is so fun. Now, when I asked her, oh my God, I'm glad you're getting along with the newbies, Tia and Angel, she said, no, I didn't say Angel.
Oh dear. Well, do you know what? What they don't show, there was a lot of going back and forth, and I've
Okay.
got 4 kids, so I need to shut it down quick. I don't have the time for the back and forth. So after we had talked it through, and I saw that she was going to keep going, I was like, babe, we're not going to do this. Like, it's your choice at this point, but like, we can go hard or we can go home.
I
And
love
it,
that.
It felt like she was not expecting a newbie to shut it down that way. And I feel like sometimes Ashley, and we love her, we're big fans.
Yeah, so I think that's just replaying it over again. But yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with what the people over at page 6 are saying, that like it definitely seems like Ashley just feels like she can run amok. And I think she tried it with Tia, and Tia shut it down. She didn't even know what hit her. You could tell. She was just looking like, did I get red? I don't feel red? Like, she was just there like, what just happened? But guess what? She's never gonna cross Tia again, because she knows Tia is, or she's going to come back harder for Tia, whichever one, right? But because she knows Tia is going to give it back to her, I don't think she's going to try it with Tia next time. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Super. Tia is my favorite as well this season. I think she's definitely my favorite. She's my favorite newbie. Out of Jazzy, Kiana, Tia, I would pick Tia without thinking twice. And Angel, I would pick Tia. To be honest, I feel like Tia is actually my favorite on the show, actually. So, yeah. Grazer and Ashy think they're bullies. Gridgy tried it with Monique, Candice, and Wendy. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that you can tell that there is some sort of, it feels very much like there's some sort of alliance between them. You can almost see it in the way in which they interact. Like Giselle and Ashley kind of have, it's almost like they have an understanding. So that's really what it gives. It gives very much there is some sort of understanding. We see each other vibe. That's what it gives. But yeah, Monique, now that Monique is back, Monique isn't back, but she will be back soon. Now that Monique will be back soon, I wonder how her and Grizzy are going to interact. I don't like Ashley. She's very annoying. Love how Tia gathered her. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like Ashley is very annoying. I feel like Ashley is playing a role. I honestly think that Ashley knows that she's not witty like the rest of the girls. She's not fun like that, like the rest of the girls. I feel like she's not very witty, right? There's nothing, I don't want to say there's nothing special about her because that sounds mean, but there's nothing different that she brings to the show. You see how Stacey brings that fun, Daisy, I don't even know. I'm on cloud nine. I'm, you know, a little Delulu, sprinkle vibes to the show. Tia brings more of a mature, feminine, um, no BS woman. I feel like they all bring something. And I feel like with Ashley feels like if she does not play the villain role, the messy role, she really has nothing else that she can bring to the show. This is just my perspective. That's my feeling. That's the feeling I get. I feel like she feels like she does not have anything else but that villain role. And I think she knows that. So she's playing that role. So that's why you see her always trying to stare ish. However, she can stare the ish, she will stir it up. And that is really the vibe that I get when it comes to Ashley. Super says Tia has staying power. I completely agree with you. 1,000%. I definitely agree with you. I feel like if Tia continues at this rate, Tia will come for another season and another season and another season. She would be one of, I can imagine Tia and Karen together. Tia and Karen together would be a wonderful powerhouse that we did not know we needed, in my opinion. But we'll have to see how that plays out. Have you seen the preview clip they put out today? Ooh, let me have a look. Let's see. Where's the people? Maybe these people don't have it, but I'm guessing maybe OMFG would have it. Because they be having all the clips. Aha! Sneak peek. Let me see, is there anything else? I feel like I think the Bravo Shade Room maybe had another one. Give me a second, because I feel like I saw something about this earlier. Yes. Okay. Oh. Are you referring to this? So Super says, have you seen the preview clip they put out today? Are you referring to any of these ones? Giselle moves the girls along and she doesn't need a number 2, which is what Ashley's trying to be. Yes, she definitely moves the girls along. And yeah, I think Giselle can handle her own, but Ashley wants some sort of, I guess, alliance with Giselle. I think there's sort of like an unwritten, rule between them. They tend to bounce off each other most times. Is that when Stacey was on the it starts out with Tia and Jazzy arguing on the yacht. Okay. Let me go back.
Tell the ladies at this point.
No, it's not this one. Let me go back. Maybe that's the one on OMFG. Let's see.
We're the same person that sat in that van and told.
I don't think it's the one. Super. If you can, please send me a link. Send me a link on my DM is reviews and recaps. So reviews the letter N, then recaps on Instagram. Please send me a link because I don't think I can't see it.
Me in a giggly kind of way. Oh my God, the owner of that restaurant was
yeah, we talked about this yesterday. She was grasping at straws, really, with that attitude of her. Jazzy, I'm like, Jazzy, you're doing too much. It's definitely giving manufactured beef for a storyline. Let me see if there's another one. I don't see another one here. I do not see another one there. Let's go back to Bravo Shade Room. Maybe it's one of these.
We're the same person.
So it pissed me off because the convo I had with Tia after that was serious. I told her, don't bring it up again. Next day, she already told the ladies, like, girl, I'm planning a whole wedding, not signing up for drama that could make my soon-to-be husband feel away. Annoying. Girl, if this will make your soon-to-be husband feel away, then shouldn't you be concerned that someone made a joke about some guy at a girl's trip fancied you? It's like, what are you doing? It's lighthearted. You literally, and just that quick, you lost us. Cause what? Yeah, exactly. You see, this is literally what I just said. Let me just tap this because I do like these people. Jazzy was so irritating in this clip. If your husband would feel away based on that clearly joking comment, then you have bigger fish to fry. Exactly, especially if he went out and allegedly had a baby on you. May or may not have had a baby on you. So it's like, what about that baby though? What about that baby? It's like, Jazzy, what are you doing? It's giving like you're trying to marry that man at all costs, because I don't understand why it should be that deep over someone saying that, you know, he fancies you. It doesn't make sense. You're doing too much, Jazzy. Doing entirely too much. It was unhinged AF, and now we're not feeling you. Yep, that's what is given. Cap, she wanted a moment here. It wasn't that deep. And if your soon-to-be husband felt some way, that's on him as his insecurities, especially when it comes to a man with a half, two, and one lock. Don't kill me. Not even two locks, more like one lock. This is what we call doing the most to orchestrate a movement. Jazzy, stop this, sis. Triggered. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Somebody's competition for a husband, but it ain't Mr. Sunshine. Ooh. Oh, not a plot twist. Not a plot twist. She worried about a man that had 2 kids on her. Okay. It wasn't my words. This is just allegedly. I'm just reading it out. Ashley don't have no storyline. Her groper ex-husband, where's her boys? Ashley looking for the next old to come along. Groper happy getting his anatomy dealt with by a man. Oh my gosh. I really wish I had one of those sound effects. Maybe I need to get some sound effects. Tommy, please see if you can help us get some sound effects. Not tonight, but on a different night. Let's get some sound effects. Let me see if there's some sound effects in this thing, because nah, it's just like music. But yeah, I think maybe we need to get some sound effects, like, oh my gosh, I don't know, just some random sound effects, because Bajan be cracking me up. We need some clapping. We need some like random, freaking drum roll sound effects or something, because yeah, I don't know. We definitely need a little something. Okay. Anyway, let's I don't think we've watched this bit together. So let's watch this bit together.
Your energy has changed since I met you. It's very different. It is. I agree.
If Wendy knew exactly what Kate said about her, on a scale of like 1 to 5, how upset would Wendy be?
Wendy would be about an 8.5. Okay, how do we move on? What do you need from me? Why don't y'all sleep on it?
Yeah.
Think about it for tomorrow.
What's the plan? And tomorrow's the last day.
What's the plan?
Well, yeah, what's the plan for tomorrow? We're getting on a yacht tomorrow. Another yacht? Another yacht.
Yes, I want a big yacht. A yacht.
Hi. Oh. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine.
Thank you, Mr. Sunshine.
Okay, so, ladies,
I'm scared.
it is shady shot time. Shady shot.
Okay. I like this color on Giselle. It's like a nice multicolored little thing. It's cute. I saw that clip on Instagram yesterday, and people were saying Mr. Sunshine and a man look alike. People are cold. I know. I saw that too, and I was like, oh my God, you will let her have a fit. People were not playing with that. I'm just like, you will let this lady have a fit. She will have a fit. Being out here thinking like they look alike. Okay, let's see.
Get her. my God. I think the shots were shady.
So the shots ended up pouring on Giselle. Giselle, girl. I guess that is the oh, that's funny. Bajan says, I'll ask my daughter about sound effects. She's the generation of technology. Oh, please. That would be so helpful. Thank you so much, sis. Because I just feel like it would be so nice to have like little sound effects just to make this fun every now and then. Like we just put a little bit of that in there when we can. That would be fun.
Shady shot time. Shady shot time. Shady shot time.
See how Ashley and Wendy like are proper cleaning her up. I'm like, okay, girl, you guys must like Giselle. And the funny thing is that I don't think Giselle even sees it for any of these people, to be honest. I don't think Giselle likes them. I think Giselle's less like, this is work for me. I come to work and that is it. But look at them like rushing to clean up Giselle. That's hilarious to me.
Everybody has their own shot. Ashley, yours says Duchess Darby.
Direct your attention to Duchess Darby.
Did you say Duchess? Okay, so Tia, this is yours. Okay. And then it says stylist.
Okay, stylist. Because I think, Tia had said in the past about like styling or sliding into Giselle's DM to style her or something like that. So maybe I guess that's where the whole stylist thing came from.
Did you know she's a stylist?
I used to be a stylist.
Jazzy, you're the bride.
Thank you.
And you're also stepmama. And I am, and that's
And let's be clear, I definitely expect more from Tia now that I know she used to be a stylist. It's like, honey, I gotta see the looks. So I will be waiting and looking out for Tia to see if we get some looks from her. Giselle is rocking Emilio Pucci. I saw this pants she had on Sunday when I was in Saks on Friday picking up my daughter's birthday gift. Oh, nice. Okay, I don't even know who that designer is, but I will go and look out for it and see. But yeah, I would say like Giselle, I really like the multicolored top thing. I would definitely, if I could find that around me, I would buy that in a heartbeat. It's cute.
but I'll take it.
Stepmama. But she ain't wrong though. And this is what I mean about the little shade. It's like, it's fun shade. It's like, yeah, you're a stepmama. Like, what we going you are a stepmama if you took up those man's kids. You are a stepmama.
Stepmama AF. Okay, this actually was your...
But you see how Jazzy took that thing and drank it? Exactly. That's how Angel should have been behaving. But Angel just takes things too seriously. She is too sensitive for this group of girls.
Or Stacey, it says nothing on it.
Exactly. It's like, you see how Giselle played in Stacey's face and was like, yeah, it says nothing on it. No, everybody is laughing. Look at Angel really like laughing her ass off. And I'm like, Angel, you're laughing so hard for somebody who did not like how you were treated. Now you're laughing so hard at someone else being on the receiving end when you didn't like how you were treated.
I don't know if I should put Mrs. Sam.
But you see how Stacey didn't give a F? She picked that glass up and she cheers and downed that drink.
Samuels. I don't know if I should put Timu. Don't know. So I left it blank. Try again, Giselle. You cannot shake me. Okay.
But you see, she's like, you cannot shake me. And that is the energy. We love people who are unbothered by other people's shade, who can throw the shade back, who have fun with it, not people that are so serious. They're constantly getting upset. Like, it's just too much. Now, I feel like, let me see. It seems like there's still a long list of things I want to go through, but let me just look. Okay, I think let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta really quickly. Then we will talk about the Braxtons. Because that Braxtons one got me effed up. And I'm just like, mm-mm-mm. So let's talk about, let's do the Real Housewives first. Then we'll do the Braxtons.
Are you beefing with?
So guys, for the people that have just come in, please hit that like button as you come in. Please hit that like button. And now let's get back into it.
Anyone?
You know, that's a great question. I'm not beefing with anyone. I'm not beefing with anyone, but someone keeps trying to beef with me.
Who is the person trying to beef with Cynthia? Cynthia Bailey. It's like, really? It's like, who is trying to beef with Cynthia? What is going on with that? Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Stacey also has staying power with her lying. Mm-mm-mm. She definitely lies a lot, in my opinion. So yeah, but she does have staying power as well. I suspect she would also be one of the people that will be on the show for a while. You're not going to finish the clip. Oh, I didn't. Oh my gosh, is this what is going on with me? Hold on. I thought I finished the clip.
Shot time. Everybody has their own shot. Ashley, yours says Duchess Darby.
Yeah, I thought I finished that. I think maybe this is the continuation.
This is Angel. Uh-oh, what's my...
Yes. I feel like Angel's one needs to be sensitive Nancy or something, because I don't understand. She seems very, very sensitive, easy to upset.
It says chin check.
Whoa, she said it says chin check. That is hilarious. Not the chin check of it all. Mm-mm-mm. You see what I mean? Now Angel's like, okay. She doesn't seem upset. She's like, I'll take it. She doesn't seem upset. Kiana, on the other hand, seems too happy, tilted her head back, and now she's laughing. It's like, okay, girl. Okay.
I'll take it. Okay, so K. Let's come with it. This is more confusion shades. Okay. So it says Giselle Hader. Oh.
Girl, she said Giselle Hader? Giselle is gathering the girls this season. I think Giselle definitely knew, like, now that Karen ain't there, she needs to step up, because Giselle is stepping up this season. Like, the way she owned that, and she's like, Giselle Hader? Not the Giselle Hader.
What? Oh, this is yours.
And you see how Kiana played her part. Kiana was like, yeah, bring it. We can talk about it.
Kay had a conversation with Wendy. And Wendy said, well, you hate Giselle.
Ooh, well, you hate Giselle. I don't remember that's how that went. Am I bugging? Do you guys remember if that's how that went? Mm-mm-mm. Angel would regret not shutting down that chin check comment. Absolutely. She's going to have to live with that for a long time, honey. She will have to deal with that, live with that. Sadly, that is really what she's going to have to live with.
That bothered me the other day. Wendy let it be known that, Kay, you had some residual feelings about me that are ridiculous. I have been nothing but supportive of Kay. I have been a champion of Kay. I have been a champion of her and Greg, even when Greg didn't like her.
Ooh! Did you guys get that? She said, I have been a champion for Kay even when Greg did not like her. If that is not a read, I don't know what is. And this is what I mean when I say Giselle has been giving it to the people in the confessionals, in person. Giselle is not playing with nobody. Giselle is not playing with nobody. Not at all.
So I just don't understand.
You've always genuinely said really nice things about Kay. Things about Kay. Even saying that this is your friend.
Nope.
Jazzy, stay out of it, mama. What's your business? Stay out of it. You and Kay are not even cool. You ain't that cool at the moment. So it's like, baby, stay out of it.
But she doesn't always say nice things about Kay. Well, I need Wendy to bring whatever her facts are about that. Okay, we can table it. Because I feel like when Wendy feels better, we should all talk about it.
Wendy's busy sleeping. Ah, Wendy is busy sleeping. For those who have just come in, you're welcome. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. Okay. I don't want to play everything because also I want us to be able to have something to talk about when we do get to the latest season, because I feel the latest episode, because I feel like they do put a lot of sneak peeks out, and sometimes you start to feel like you've watched the whole show. So I don't want to feel like I've watched the whole thing, so maybe you can watch the rest later. But yeah, guys, please hit that like button as you come in. We are going to talk about Cynthia Bailey and how somebody is coming for Cynthia Bailey. Then we will talk about the Braxton sisters. All right, so let's do the Cynthia.
Are you beefing with anyone?
You know, that's a great question. I'm not beefing with anyone. I'm not beefing with anyone, but someone keeps trying to beef with me.
Ooh. So guys, I want you guys, let's see who's going to get it right. Who do you think is trying to beef? Excuse me. Who do you think is trying to beef with Cynthia? Who do you lot think is trying to beef with Cynthia? Put it in the chat. Like the great Cynthia that don't bother nobody. Like, who's trying to beef with her? She's not even a full-time housewife. Who is trying to beef with her?
I see. Okay. All right. I hear you. I see what you're putting down here. And how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, if you come for me, then I have to respond, obviously. I mean, be clear. I don't really want any smoke, to be honest. Are
you beefing with any?
Well, you don't want any smoke, but you are going to get some smoke because you are responding now. So you are going to get some smoke.
I don't really want any smoke, to be honest. I am trying to stay as neutral as I can with the ladies. I really, really, really do not want to pick sides. I really don't. However, you know, if you keep coming for me, then I have to keep responding. So, you know.
Get that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They are making Miss Cynthia earn that check. You know how Cynthia gets to dip in and go and do whatever she wants to do with her wine, come back in, do whatever she wants. Now they're like, no, ma'am, you're going to have to work for that money, honey. That is what is given. And to be honest, I'm here for it. Cynthia, baby, give us a little something. We know you have it in you because weren't you the one that kicked? Did you kick Portia once or something? Or is it me? Because I know you definitely went 50 Cent on somebody. I remember you have it in you. So yeah, I guess it's good. It's about to come out.
Yeah.
Because you can only
for every action, there's a reaction.
That's right. You can only be neutral for so long.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to be neutral. And I think the minute I said it publicly that I was trying to be neutral was when it all went to hell.
That's the thing. People are like, pick a side, pick a side. Like, nobody wants no neutral person, like just coming in and doing whatever. People want you to pick a side, especially when it's on like serious issues. They want you to have an opinion. They don't want you to be able to just be in the middle and just like do anything or be like anything goes. No.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, I guess we're in for a treat. Real Housewives might be good this season. Super. Yes, you did miss the part about Tisha. It was the first few minutes of the live. So yeah, you might have to catch the replay for that one. Super thinks it may be K Michelle. Ooh. Oh. Interesting. I will not be surprised. because I don't ever see Portia coming for Cynthia. I think Portia likes Cynthia. Portia sees Cynthia as one of the good girls. They've established a relationship of all these years of being on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's not going to choose any of the new girls over Cynthia. So I don't think it's Portia. I also don't think it's Phaedra because Phaedra is not going to come for Cynthia. I feel like the OGs, even though I know I have different conversation about who should be counted as an OG, but I'm just going to refer to them as an OG now because there's a lot of newbies, right? I don't really think that I feel like Portia is not going to do that. I don't think Phaedra is going to do that either. I think they have like it's sort of like oldies versus newbies, right? So I don't think that they will turn on each other in that way personally. Um, but I think it's probably one of the new girls. Maybe it's even Kelly. It may be Kelly. Kelly is becoming very Chihuahua-ish. Um, or could it be Shamia? You think Shamia is like pick a side, pick a side? You can't be in the middle because you know she's cordial. She's cool with Shamia, and she's cool with Shamia, and she's also cool with Portia. Interesting. So cool with Portia and cool with Shamia. Do you think is one of them? Afro Bell thinks it must be one of the new girls. I agree. I don't see any of the ODs, and I don't say this to be rude. I just newbies versus ODs, right? Or seasoned vets. Let me say seasoned vets. Newbies versus seasoned vets. I don't see any of the seasoned vets coming after each other. I think they probably have enough sense to know that they have to stick together, especially when there are lots of newbies who are trying to take and push people out. Shamia. So I think that the vets need to stick together as much as possible. Super says allegedly things were popping off in Scotland. That's what I heard. So I guess we'll have to see what the show brings this season, but they better do it right. Because I definitely miss when Real Housewives of Atlanta was Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I need them to bring that energy, bring it together, make it fun. I'm ready for that. Afrobelle says, yeah, she kicked Portia with her hoops. Yeah, she did. Exactly. And that's what I knew 50 Cent had it in her. She just likes to take the high road. But one of those people where all you got to do is push them the right way. And then they're like, nah, I have something for you. And so I wonder if that kind of Cynthia is going to be activated this season. And I think she needs to activate herself because you need to remember the girls that you are not the one to be played with. Because I feel like because she is so calm and most of her seasons on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she has been the calm, centered one. She doesn't really pop off like that. I feel like she needs to remind the people that just because I don't like to pop off does not mean I cannot pop off if you piss me off, right? So she definitely needs to be in that, just show the girls a little 1-2, and then hopefully moving forward, everyone knows you're not to be played with. Cynthia said on an earlier podcast that they're learning K-Michelle or something like that, and I thought that was interesting. Oh, I see. That's a very interesting point. It's like a very interesting thing to see about somebody. We're learning her. Like, It sounds like you're trying to say that, she's maybe hard to work with, and then you're trying to, or hard to be around, and then you're trying to kind of figure out if that's what the vibe is, or what her vibe is. So yeah, I do wonder about that, to be honest. But I'm just like, whoever is coming for Cynthia, honey, like Cynthia girl, whoever is coming for Cynthia needs to stop, or Cynthia needs to make them stop. It's like, remind the people that you are not to be played with, because I think the people have forgotten. The people are so used to the calm Cynthia that does not say nothing, the calm Cynthia who just, smiles with everyone, who wants to be neutral. But the people need the activated Cynthia who can get down, the one who was kicking Portia. Okay? Of course, we're not telling you to kick anybody. You're too grown for all of that. But we need you to use your words. We need you to activate 50 Cent. Remember when Cynthia was she was relaying what happened. She's like, you need to back up. You need to back up. We need that energy from Cynthia. Cynthia had some fun moments. And when Cynthia was selling Phaedra, win a case. Win a case. I was like, okay, 50 Cent, you know? And I think that was a very, very fun interaction back and forth. If I can even find it, I would love to be able to play that for y'all. But it was such a wonderful, sweet moment of back and forth between them. And I just think like that Cynthia needs to be activated. So maybe that person forgot all of these things about Cynthia and was used to the Cynthia who we love and adore for being a sweetheart. But Cynthia is like, girl, you need to channel 50 Cent, baby. Get it together, channel 50 Cent, bring that energy. And yeah, let's have that really. Okay. All right. Let's see what the people are saying in the comments. And then let's move on to the Braxtons. So Cynthia, this will pop up at the reunion now. Don't come for me unless I send for you, period. I think it's Kelly. She has an extensive history with the rest of the ladies. And I'd be seeing her commenting on K. Michelle's post. Oh, she is boring. I think it may be Drew she's talking about. K. Michelle. Cynthia is very sneaky. The way she dropped Kenya for Brit. Who wants a friend like that? Please. Kenya dropped her too. Let's be honest. Kenya was out here not really riding for her friends. Please. Oh well. When has Kenya ever rode for Cynthia? They both have never really been, excellent friends. I'll say Cynthia was more of a friend to Kenya than Kenya was ever a friend to Cynthia. Just my opinion. But I'm not ready to argue in the comments today. So we're not going to talk about that for today. Maybe we'll table that matter if you disagree for a different day. Now, what I do want to talk about is the Braxtons. So, I think it's important to show you guys some clips. But before I show you guys some clips, I'm going to give some commentary because I feel like so much happened on the Braxtons. Pageant said, I forgot about Drew. To be honest, sometimes it's easy to forget about Drew. I hope that this season, Drew, I need you to make sure you are on our minds, you are on our thoughts, you are constantly being brought up because you've been scaling through. I think at the reunion, yes, she did good, but I feel like we needed to have seen more of her on the season. Now, Super says, Cynthia said what a friend should have said to Kenya. Absolutely. Absolutely. A friend should be able to call you and tell you, you are wrong, my dear. You need to reel this back in. Because, yeah, it definitely was not done. And so I think that people just don't like Cynthia. And that's one thing I notice about this social media world. It's like if someone doesn't like you or if people don't like you, they will ride on that before they accept that somebody treated you badly. And I think that's the thing, sometimes fandom and, being like, oh, this person is my favorite, all of that kind of stuff. I think it can make it harder for us to see people's faults or where people are wrong. But I try to be as neutral as possible. Even if I like you, I try to still give a balanced commentary because I always feel like, yeah, I must make sure I'm not blinded by my personal feelings about somebody. So yeah. But guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Let me just put that on the screen. Please hit that like button. Okay. So let's talk about the Braxtons. Let's talk about the Braxtons. Now, some of y'all may not like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like everybody has to be ready to take responsibility for the chaos. I think every single one of them has had a part to play in the relationship they all have as sisters. Everybody. Tamar is not innocent. I know there's a lot of commentary which seems to make it seem like Tamar is innocent. and Tamar ain't never did nothing wrong and the sisters are all evil, but Tamar is innocent. No. They are all responsible. They all have a part to play in the demise of the relationship. And I will try to address each person where I can. But I want to talk about Tamar first. And the reason I want to talk about Tamar first, yes, Bajan, this is the last segment that I'm doing for the live. I'm just doing the Braxtons, and then we'll call it a night. Unless you think, there's more stuff you think I need to talk about. But I can see like some people are going to bed. So I definitely also don't want to just keep talking if there isn't more stuff in the streets or in the social media streets to talk about. But yeah. So I feel like a lot of people make it seem like Tamar is innocent and Tamar never did nothing wrong. And Tawanda is a mad person and Tony is evil and the girls are jealous and all of those things. And I've seen a lot of commentary about that. And I've seen a lot of comments about that, actually. More comments than commentary. But I've seen a lot of comments about it where it feels like people are making it seem like Tamar is innocent and everybody else is guilty. But I completely disagree. I think everyone has to take responsibility for the chaos that they created. Every single person, everybody, Tawanda, Tamar, Tony, and Shrina, everybody has some responsibility for the issues that they now face as a family, for the conflict, for the divide that has formed in this family. It's very sad to see that the sisters have now gotten there, but I think it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. I feel like there have been underlining issues for such a long time that have not been addressed, that have been brushed under the rug. And now it feels like Tamar is in a season where she's like, I'm going to empty out the clip. Which there's nothing wrong with that, If you are in a family that thrives on secrecy, sometimes you're just like, yeah, nah. Let's bring everything out in the open so we can heal, so we can address things. So I get it. But I do feel like where Tamar has her faults, it's the way Tamar approaches things. It almost feels like Tamar is stuck in her childhood stage. The way she addresses issues, the way she addresses conflict, she came in with a presupposition that everybody knew about the cease and desist, which may or may not have been true, because word on the street, and I'll play another video for you guys, is that they didn't know about it, allegedly. So she already came thinking with presuppositions that these sisters knew about it. And one of them gave the address out. Now, of course, we don't know whether or not that is the truth. People can say, okay, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. It's possible. But at the same time, I feel like there's so many layers to this. So many layers to this. I think that Tamar is a perpetual victim. And I say that because I feel like a lot of things have happened to her in her life and I empathize with her. But it feels like she is sort of stuck in that space. If you think about when she was talking to the showrunner, it seemed like everything she kept saying was how everyone was wrong, how they did this, how they did that. But it's like, okay, yes, they did all of these things, but what did you do? Which part of this conflict do you need to take accountability for? Because you came in hot, right? That's the first thing. You came in hot. Your presentation was not constructive. Even at point you were like, I know y'all don't like me. Trina was trying to ask questions about this so-called cease and desist because she didn't really understand what the subject matter was. But Tamar was already on 10. And so I feel like To begin with, that is not the approach. If you're trying to be constructive, that's not the way you approach your family. Just putting that out there, right? Now, I feel like Tamar exposed. Let me see. So Tony has failed as a big sister. I feel like that's a huge, huge responsibility. And I say that because I feel like Tony, in her own way, tried her best. I feel like they grew up as a whole in dysfunction. This is my perspective. I feel like they grew up in dysfunction. And Tony did what she could. I feel like Tony bringing her sisters in, making the sisters sing backup for her, all of those things was her way of pulling the sisters in, making, paying. I believe she didn't pay Tamar. Well, Tamar didn't collect money, but I think the other girls did. Right? We're getting paid to do backup for her, for Tony Braxton, right? When they go on tour to dance for Tony, all that kind of stuff. And so I feel like that was Tony's way of bringing and looking after the girls. If you notice also, Tony mentioned how her publicist is always constantly outside looking out for Tamar and fixing things that Tamar does in public. I think in her way, that's her own way of being a big sister and looking after everybody. Now, where I think Tony is wrong is Tony has become so obsessed with image. Tony has become so obsessed with being seen, the family being seen as this, wholesome family. But that's not what you guys are. So if you noticed at the table, she kept saying, we're sisters, we won't do that, all that kind of stuff. You can tell that she feels like she has to protect the name, the Braxton name. She has to protect the reputation of the family. She has to make sure that they don't bring the mess that affects her legacy. Because we know Tony Braxton's a legend, right? So I feel like she has gotten so I feel like she's gotten so engrossed in the image of the family unit that she is dropping the ball in areas where she should be picking the ball. If you watch Braxton Family Values, there was always conflict. It always felt like there was alliances or groups. It felt like Tony and Tamar were the closest, right? And then Trina and Tawanda, and then it felt like Tracy was sort of like the outlier, right? And so if you think about it in that way, Tamar and Tony have always been tight. But then it feels like something has happened that has sort of fractured the whole unit. But I do feel like there's more that Tony could have done, but I also understand where certain times as a big sister is like everyone is looking to you. They're looking to you to pay their bills. They're looking to you for every single thing. And I can understand how it's not like you get a practice or you get an opportunity to learn how to be a big sis. You're just like figuring it out as you go along. So I can understand how from Tony's perspective, she feels like, well, I took care of these people. I gave them opportunities to shine. I provided for them, for the family. I remember she was talking about Tamar was the only one that helps her look after their mom, right? So you can tell, I feel like Tony definitely did the best that she could do. However, I think where Tony went wrong is the way she feels about image. I think if she cared less about image and just was more supportive of Tamar in certain situations and validated Tamar, I think Tamar would feel better. I think Tamar requires a lot of validation, and she was hoping that Tony would in that moment, but Tony was trying to protect image. So now Tony is prioritizing image over the well-being of her sister. It may have not been intentional, but that was the implication. And this is why I say none of them are innocent. From my perspective, Tamar has not grown up. Tamar is still stuck in that childhood phase. Tamar is a perpetual victim. Tamar escalates situations. A situation that could have been a minor conversation, the energy she brings to it is so blown out of proportion, and then it goes left. But then let's talk about the people. Before I talk about that, the one last thing I wanted to say about Tamar. I feel like Tamar, think about it. If Tamar was your sister, you would be exhausted. And I think sometimes it's easy to be like, yeah, the sisters are this, the sisters are that. Yes. But think about that energy that Tamar brought. That's a very insufferable energy. Even as someone that watched it back, I was so exhausted watching it back. When I watched it, I was just like, what is going on? But this is what I mean when I say none of them are innocent. So then if we move on to Trina, I think Trina is complicit. I think Trina has some resentment. I don't know what she feels Tamar did. I don't know what it is. I don't think Trina likes Tamar. You can love somebody, but you may not necessarily like them. I don't think Trina likes Tamar. Because if you like Tamar, when the blows were going and the words were going left and right, you will not be there smirking when it feels like a blow has hit Tamar. So it's giving you don't like your sister. Because there's no way you're relishing in somebody getting one up on your sister, even if it means another sister. Right? You could see Tony, on the other hand, was uncomfortable by it all. And Tony just wanted everything to be buried under the rug. But then Trina looks like she was enjoying the moment. Trina looks like she was enjoying, loving the moment. Which makes me think Trina is also a problem. She's complicit. By not saying anything, you are taking a stand. And that's what sometimes I don't think people realize. People feel like, I didn't say anything. The fact that you're not saying anything is a problem. It already shows that you've taken a side. And so I feel like that's an element of what we see. Now let's talk about Tawanda. Tawanda is a problem. Do you hear me? Tawanda is a huge, huge problem. Huge problem. Did you guys notice that Tawanda said to Tony, let's call the cops on her and press charges? Sorry, what? On your sister? Girl, bye. No. And it's the way Tawanda is able to... Tawanda brought up Tamar's mental issues, mental health. She brought it up. She was... And the people like Tawanda, right? You got to be very careful of them because they know how to not react. They know how to seem cool, calm, and collected whilst they are the reason you are so riled up. You see how she just maintained her face. Tamar talks about paying, giving her a loan. She was like, oh, thank you for the gift. I'm like, girl, she is venomous. I personally feel like Tawanda has become resentful. I feel like Tawanda doesn't like Tamar. I think Tawanda has become resentful. I think she feels like she's shown support for people and she feels like people don't support her. I think that has made her grow bitter in her mind. Because it just feels like, what is going on with you? Why does it seem like there's no empathy? Because to talk to your sister in that way, to basically want to press charges on your sister, who you say has mental health issues, shouldn't you be like, oh my God, Even if she had mental health issues, you should want to protect her, not press charges against her. So the fact that you were jumping to want to do that and you wanted to bring Tony to your side shows me that you're a problem. And the problem with people like that is they will not just not like you in the background, they will convince other people to not like you as well. And I wonder if that is part of the reason that Trina doesn't like Tamar. I wonder if Tawanda has been able to sow seeds of discord over time into the hearts and minds of Trina. Do you guys remember when Trina was talking about they were indirectly talking about the abuse with Ashley's with their niece Ashley, and Trina and Tawanda met up, and you could hear that Tawanda was basically saying to her like, you're the victim, and Trina was first trying to like basically say that, oh yeah, Ashley, you know, she tried to handle it the best way she can, blah blah blah. And then somehow Tawanda convinced her that she was the victim in the situation. And I thought, wow, she is good. The fact that she could sit there and make it seem like, imagine, think about it. She sat there and then was out here pretty much changing Trina's mindset for Trina to think that she was the victim in that situation. So how much more when it comes to sowing seeds of discord between Trina and Tamar? Right? So the other thing I picked up with Tawanda is a different kind of evil, in my opinion, because she brought up Tamar allegedly messing with Tony's ex-boyfriend, right? Now, I don't know if you guys picked up in the conversation that Tamar had with the showrunner. She said that for Tawanda to bring up something that happened years ago, when I think she said in 1995 or something, which would have meant that Tamar was very, very young, like maybe 17, 18 years old. And the fact that she brought that back up in that moment is the height. That is someone doing something to trigger you and send you off the rails. And see how Tawanda was able to calm herself. She was pretty much calm the whole time. She was just looking. It was the sinister look. She was looking unbothered about the whole thing. That was very, very concerning for me. Very, very concerning for me. And so I definitely think that every single one of them has a part to play. And I don't think anybody is innocent. I don't think Tawanda is telling the truth about Alone. Because if it was Alone, why did you list Tamar as your creditor, as one of the creditors, when you're trying to file bankruptcy, allegedly? Is it a loan? Is it a gift? Right? So I think they are all very problematic. All very problematic. But I think Tony was upset about Tamar saying that she didn't have her back. And I think Tony took that to mean you never have my back. And we've always seen that on the show, Tony has always kind of had a soft spot for Tamar. It's always been Tony and Tamar. So I definitely feel like there is something. I feel like that escalated worse than it should have at all. But yeah, I would say those are like my initial thoughts. Let me see what you guys are saying. Tamar is the example of a child who was severely abused and her growth was stunted and she got no empathy from who she needed it from, her sisters. Absolutely. And I do also wonder, why did her sisters not give her that? Is it because they also grew up in a place where they also experienced some sort of abuse? It may not have been on the same level as her or a different kind of abuse, but then could it be that as well? Because sometimes when people are on the receiving end of abuse, or sometimes when they see abuse being directed towards someone else and is not handled properly, they also learn. that is acceptable behavior. And so they then imitate those behaviors. So I do think for all of them to have such serious behavioral character issues, I wonder where or how they grew up. We can't even label one person unproblematic. Do you know how bad that is? Usually, let's say you have one person in the family that is off the rails, then you at least have another person that is unproblematic. This one, it seems like everybody got some screws loose. So that shows that something in their development, in their family life, something was off. They are adults now. I'm talking about outside of the fame. I'm talking about just being a sister. Okay, I think you're talking about the is it Tony of it all? Yes, I think you're talking about Tony, the Tony of it all. Yes, I get that. I feel like I don't necessarily feel like Tony. I don't think Tony can necessarily separate herself from the fame. I say this because not as an excuse, but as an explanation. I say that because I feel like Tony got popular. She was discovered young. And then she brought all her family with her, right? So I think that she's had the fame from such a young age that that has pretty much been her experience, right? Think about it. Even her sisters call her Tony, living legend, or Tony Braxton. You know, even her sisters play into that, right? Because it always seems like she's been seen as the star from such a young age, right? Luckily, Tama had a personality. She also had talent. She was able to get up from Tony's shadow. But I will say, everybody plays into it. Because imagine my friend, my sister is Tony Braxton, and I keep saying, oh, the Tony Braxton, living legend. Like, I'm playing into it. It's one thing to say it here and there, but the way they refer to Tony, the way it's obvious they revere her in some way. It has created like a sense of like, I'm here and you're there. And it's funny because you can even see how Tony refers to herself as me, Tony Braxton. It's like, girl, okay. Like, okay, Tony. Like, let's bring it down a few notches. Like, what's going on with that? Let's pipe down a little bit, Tony. You know, so I just don't know if she's really separated it from day one. Me as a sister versus me being the famous sister. The mother is to blame for making Tony feel like she was responsible for her sisters because she was chosen for a solo career. Exactly. And I think we don't speak about this enough. Because if you think about it, when they were on Iyanla, Tony said that if they were not her family, she would not even talk to them. And I suspect that Tony has been responsible for these people in so many ways from a young age. It's like, okay, now I'm doing it. Now I got to bring everybody. Now I have to plug them in. Now I have to do this. Now I have to do that. And then, of course, they have different levels of ambition, drive, talent, all that kind of stuff, grace. But Tony must have felt like she had to be responsible because if you even notice in the interaction she had with Tama, she was basically saying, yeah, when Tama was talking about Tawanda stealing from her and using her credit card to pay for like 6 lines or whatever, 6 phone lines or whatever, Tony was like, yeah, but you know, we're sisters. That's what we do. That's because that's what Tony does. So Tony, the way Tony feels a sense of responsibility for the sisters, it's almost like Tony expects everybody to also feel that same sense of responsibility. And it's like, Tony, girl, you're the only one in that family that feels that sense of responsibility. And your sisters are grown. They have the Braxton name. Most of them haven't done much with the Braxton name. It's like there is nothing you can do for them. You have done more than enough. And I wish somebody would tell Tony, like, girl, you done did more than enough things. You do not have to do anything extra for these people. You've done more than enough. You've had years. You've done more than enough. You showed up for your sisters. That is it. That is all. There's no need. Nothing more. If you never do anything else again, everybody's happy. And I wish that, sometimes you just wish that somebody will say that to her, because you can almost feel that she is battling with that, where she feels so responsible for everyone. And it's kind of sad, because a lot of it is like, when you think about, like, as the first daughter or the first child, you feel responsible for all your siblings, but you're not their parents. And I wish, like, a lot of parents don't force older siblings to be responsible for younger siblings. It's like, why? They're not the parents. If Tama was my sister, I would have handled her differently. Absolutely. I think that yeah, I definitely think they should have handled her differently. I agree. I think that they don't have the tools. I don't think they have the tools. I also don't think they have the empathy. But I also want to throw them a bone, because I think that sometimes you may have siblings that are so exhausting that you don't even have the patience for them anymore, because you're just like, we've had this conversation one too many, two, three, two, four many times. We don't have to keep having this conversation. And I wonder if it's one of those things where they are just over it. They feel like it's always some drama, it's always something with Tama. And it's interesting that Tony said it in her confessionals, which I think is very, very interesting, and something I've always said about Tama. Tama likes attention. It could be the worst attention. She does not care. As long as it is attention, she would take it. And if you noticed in the confessional, Tony said she feels like her sister loves being infamous rather than being known for being famous, right? As long as her name is out there, she does not care. As long as we're talking about her, she does not care. And so I feel like on the one hand, they probably are just like, yeah, nah, we done tried with this girl. We are over. We can't keep, throwing somebody a lifeline. So I do wonder as well. I think they are weird for bringing their family issues on reality TV for the mess. People would have enjoyed lighthearted clips of them with minor arguments. Yes, I agree. I think that it's gotten too dark, and I honestly don't like it. When I watched it today, it gave me a headache. I was just like, oh my God. If I didn't have to watch it so we could talk about it, I would not have bothered, because I had a headache watching it, and then I had to watch it back again because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I really felt like I wanted to analyze the behavior and come back and tell you guys what I saw. So I was like, let me watch it once, let me watch it again, and so that when I come, I can, like, be able to relay it the way in which I want to relay the message. I think all the sisters have been in survival mode and saving themselves. Agreed. And it makes me wonder, what is it that all these sisters have experienced? There must be something. Like, what is it? Right? That is having y'all in survivor mode, that is having y'all, instead of coming together against whatever the issues are, it's coming to the point where you guys are fighting each other. And don't get me wrong, I've seen conflicts with siblings, right? I have conflicts with my siblings every now and then. But nothing like this. This feels extreme. This feels angry. This feels like to the point of, like, pulling hair or even trying to get your sister arrested and press charges. It's like, that is so way above normal, regular beef. Minor conversations, minor argument. This is something completely different. Super says, I like Tony until I saw Braxton Family Values. Oh, interesting. To be fair, I think most people either liked her before then or still like her, but now after this episode are looking at Tony sideways. Super says her baby sister was diagnosed as paranoid. Oh, wow. Schizophrenic and bipolar, and she refused therapy and medication off and on. Speak from experience, but we're not celebrities. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. How is she doing now? Is she at a point where she is open to like conversations about therapy or medication? I'm so sorry to hear that. I can't even imagine what you and your family must be going through. Yeah. My heart, my prayer goes out to you and your sister. Yeah, I definitely hope that she gets to a point where she accepts the help, gets to the point where she definitely just accepts the help and lets you guys help her. But yeah, so I just think like, yeah, I do want to play the clips though, so that I will play maybe a few, maybe just the clip. It would just be the clip of them at the table, because I feel like that was the only thing that happened this season or this episode. So
I want to be clear. I want it on record. I want to be clear on national television. You want to say I don't have your back?
So you see what I mean? You see her response. You want to say I don't have your back, and it's like, girl, that ain't what she said, honey. She said you did not have my back on this occasion.
You didn't have my back when it came to your lawyer friend. But heavyweight don't with me, Tamar.
And I can also understand where Tony is coming from, because allegedly, so maybe should I play this clip first so that you guys can see? Let me play this clip first, and then we'll come back to this. Let me play this one first so you guys can see. This is the attorney. Let me refresh, because I feel like this is important information. We got the people
And I'll
gotta
say
know.
this.
This is the attorney, by the way.
There has been no Braxton with a vagina that asked or requested this cease and desist.
I'm gonna pause that there. No Braxton with a vajayjay that requested the cease and desist. So what does that tell you? That is Ashley's dad, I believe, is the one that requested for the cease and desist. And so my thing is, if he's saying that, and this is, if you guys remember, I said it sounded like Tamar came with her preconceived notions that one of the girlies was responsible for the cease and desist. Instead of inquiring, it felt like she was confronting. And that's why I said that's where she went wrong from the beginning of the conversation. Because now this man is like, they were not involved in the cease and desist.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. But that clears Tony, so that's all I worried about.
Oh, so he's just out here like, I only care about Tony, and that clears Tony. Oh, that's funny.
So okay, before we get into in this instance,
yes, that's what happens all the time.
And you're the person that actually did it, right?
I saw this too. Yo, what's going on here? Wait, Fred.
Okay. Yeah, these people are hilarious, man. No, her husband lives in her as much as he can. Oh, she spends a lot of time in seclusion now that she's 52 years old. Oh, honestly, I'm so sorry. Like, I really hope that things change. I'll keep her and you guys in my prayers. You watched The Attorney the other night. It was funny.
Hold on. Let me answer. I was directed by my supervisor
the task.
Absolutely. No, let me be clear.
I
I'm gonna stay
mean,
online.
I mean, you gotta do what you're told.
I prepped it. I prepared it. I typed it. I put every period, every sentence, every comma, every letter on it. It was mine. I sent it. I stand by it. It was legally done. It was purposely done. The reason why it was done was a legal reason. That legal reason still exists, and I don't want people to leave or to operate into labor with the unfortunate idea that it was Tony Braxton, Trina Braxton, Tawanda Braxton, Evelyn Braxton, Tracy Braxton that sent that cease and desist. It was not. It was not.
So he is clearing it up. He is like, it was not Tony, it wasn't Tawanda. And I can understand now. I feel like I understand why Tony seems to be upset, because it's like, you're sitting in my face and basically telling me that I was part of, and I'm cool with the attorney, and that I sent a cease and desist when I don't know nothing about no cease and desist. Not me saying it like Tama, sister and desist. Cease and desist.
Let's just be clear. So, I understand that, people want to drag the narrative that these sisters got together and colluded to send the cease and desist. No, the sisters did not.
I hope like the people that have been saying that and saying that, all the sisters came together and all that kind of stuff can watch this. I hope like as far as the lie went, this clears it up as well. I say that because when Trina was asking the question about it, it was obvious that she looked confused, like, wait, did they come to your house? Like, if that was my sister that said that to me, I would not go off. I would be saying, yeah, they did. This happened, right? Which tells you that obviously they did not know about it. So I'm not surprised at all. That was the impression I got. They seem to be asking question about it. So I'm not right. Yeah. So that's something I'm like, a little surprising, to be honest.
Not send it. The sisters didn't even know it was being sent. Let's just be honest.
I got you.
And I'll say this. There has been no Braxton with a vagina.
So that clears it up. That man then said none of the girls, none of the Braxton sisters were in charge of that. And maybe this is why Tama came out to apologize. Because you guys remember, Tama apologized in advance for what we're going to see. And yeah, she apologized. And so I was like, what could she possibly be apologizing for? And now it's definitely given that now we can see what it is that she's apologizing for. Right? So very, very interesting. Let's see what the people are saying. So it was the brother. Maybe he didn't want some of his personality on blast. Someone said, and she knew that she just wanted to make a scene or seem like the sisters were lying to get and out to get her. Tama want to be the savior, save herself and tell her business on her own platform, regardless of who and what. It should never have been brought to social media. She should not have did her sisters like that for TV. Let one of my sisters do some ish like that to me or any of my sisters, and we will never ever speak again. Ain't nobody jealous of Tama. That is everyone's favorite word. They all chose their paths as to what they wanted to do. It's about to get messy, and Tama is going to get to talking. Yep, she probably is. But yeah. He didn't need to know the address because she said on Nini's podcast that they live next to each other, and he said they just gave it to the concierge at her building. Exactly. So the whole drama of coming and saying who gave him my address and all of that is not landing now that we know what we know. Now that we know that it was given to the concierge. So yeah, Tama Braxton, baby. Tama. Yes, well, this, I will be honest, this ain't looking good because you came almost like you had proof that the sisters were involved and the sister didn't know nothing about it. Definitely that's not good. I will say that it doesn't look good at all. Does not look good at all. But yeah, that is all I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm going to put the link in the chat quickly just in case anyone wants to come up and say a little 2 cents. If not, we will close out for the day. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging with us tonight. It has been a really, really good live, I will say. Definitely fun. I've had a really good time with you guys today. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you to the people who have been liking. And if you did not like, please like. And shout out to the replay gang as well who will be listening. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button. And of course, join in the conversation. Let us know what you think about all of the topics that we're dealing with. Yeah, so okay, I don't see anybody has come up. I'm gonna give it one more minute. In the meantime, guys, please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on your notifications so you know every single time that I post or go live. I'm hoping that something interesting comes up tomorrow, but make sure you turn on your notifications so that whatever happens tomorrow, we go and talk about it. On that note, my lovelies, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. I am going to bed. Bye, everyone. Bye, 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 Super. Bye, Super. Bye, Tommy. Bye, Bajan. Bye, Afrobel. Did I miss anybody? Sorry to anybody that I missed, but thank you so much to everybody that was in the chat tonight. Love you all. Afrobel says, great catching up on live today. Yes, lovely. Thank you so much. It's lovely having you here as well. But yeah, bye everyone. Have a wonderful evening and see you guys tomorrow.